Hello everyone, this is Dr. Akshata Shanbhag. Today in JTK and Keynotes, as we know, we are studying the remedies which he has written in lectures of Homeopathic Materia Medica. So today we will discuss about the remedy Baptisia, which is the 31st remedy in the lectures. So about Baptisia, Kent says it is used in acute diseases and it is short acting medicine. So acute diseases, we know that acute in the sense it will be having a shorter duration, and the symptoms when it appears it will be always sudden and violent. These symptoms you call it as acute symptoms. So here what sort of acute symptoms you will find in Baptisia we will see. So all of its complaints have appearance of zymosis like scarlet fever, typhoid and even gangrenous condition also. It brings septic state more rapidly than most other remedies. So we know that Baptisia is one of the remedies for typhoid fever. So we usually use in homeopathy for typhoid. So in typhoid also we need to differentiate many other remedies with the Baptisia. So Baptisia, if you want to select, then you have to remember its rapid pace. So you have Arsal, Phosphorus, Rustox, Bryonia. These remedies are also present, but these are slow paced. That is, the septic state will be appearing slowly after a few weeks. But here in the Baptisia, it is a rapid pace. So it is not suitable in idiopathic typhoids, which takes 5 or 6 weeks. So all of the following symptoms, now what I will be going to tell, will be found with the fever. So with the fever in Baptisia, you will be having the symptoms like all discharges which are present are very putrid, offensive, then cadaverous odor, pungent, penetrating odor. So what do you mean by penetrating odor? We will see that. So this penetrating putrid odor, you will find it in all discharges like stool, urine, sweat, breath, mucus from the nose and throat. Also there will be putrid odor. Then you will have duskiness or purple mottled discoloration will be there. So there will be a dark discoloration of the skin. So that will be seen. Then there will be sudden prostration. As I said you, acute condition, sudden prostration will be appeared. So they will have even sudden stupor also with stupidity and delirium. So what do you mean, what sort of stupor and delirium will be there? We will discuss it in detail. So stupor in the sense semi-conscious state will be present. So then they have a besotted countenance, bloated, purple, mottled appearance like an old drunkard. So when you see a drunkard, so how their facial expressions will be? Always they feel like, you feel like they are in semi-conscious state, and the appearance of the face also will be very drawn. So that sort of besotted appearance you will have even in Baptisia with the fever. It is suitable for blood poisons, he says, that is septic conditions, as you find it in puerperal sepsis and scarlet fever. So initially the symptoms will be, the fever will be very sudden, violent and remittent type of fever will be seen. But gradually you find that this becomes continuous fever with septic symptoms. So example, if a person is working down in mine or swamp or mud or sewers, who has inhaled foul gases, offensive gases, so first thing he will suffer with is sudden stupor if it is Baptisia. Sudden stupor, prostration, face will become mottled, the sores will start beginning to appear much earlier. Sores in the sense over the teeth there will be a appearance of blackish discoloration. What you can see in this picture, this is sores. Abdomen also will become distended much earlier. Mouths will start bleeding and will have putrid offensive odor. Then they will have very horrible odor and marked state of delirium will be seen when aroused from stupor. He gives you the impression that he has been drunk, like he speaks two words and goes back to stupor. So if you ask him to wake up, so he will get up and he will speak 2 3 words and again he will go back to sleep. So this is the semi-conscious state he will have in baptisia. So the discharges in baptisia, as I said you have to remember it is very putrid, cadaverous, pungent and penetrating, as Kent also says, and it is seen in all sort of discharges, in stool, urine, breath, sweat, mucus and even from the ulcers also. So penetrating odor in the sense what? He gives one sentence there. On going into the front door, the whole house, if the rooms are open, is filled with odor. This is what is penetrating means. That means it can fill, the offensive odor can fill the whole house, even if he is standing at the front door. Then comes the ulcers. You find it in baptisia. Even without the fever also there is a possibility of having ulcers in the mucous membranes. So ulcerated tongue can be there and aphthous can be there. So aphthous from pinhead size to it can be the whole surface of the mouth can be covered, which is very black and offensive again. And it is always associated with saliva discharge again, which is very putrid, thick, ropey, runs all over the pillow. That is excessive. There is excessive flow of saliva present, which is even seen in Merck's salt. Even in throat also there will be ulcers which you have raw, bleeding and again swollen. Cancrum oris will be seen, so which is really faggot. So coming to the facial symptoms. So as I said you, the face will have besotted appearance and all, drunkard appearance. There will be congestion, there will be redness and hot and perceptibly flushed and dusked. So this is the besotted appearance, drunken appearance you will have, and this is the duskiness you find it on the face. There is critical sweat on forehead and face he gives. Critical sweat is when there is excessive exhaustion and all. So you find the perspiration, excess of perspiration on the face and forehead. Anxious, frightened look is present. On arousing from the sleep, he looks as if he had a horrible dream. So that sort of facial expression you will find in baptisia. So in tongue, he gives very peculiar tongue in baptisia. So one is it is swollen, painful and offensive. Second is he says it is red and dry in the middle and it is covered with black blood, raw, denuded, dark hue like thick brown crust. Another very important you need to remember in baptisia, Kent says it is very stiff and dry as leather, as if made of wood or burnt leather. You can see in this picture, this is how it appears, like a leather, burnt. So, but it will be dark in color. Then some may have yellowish white or deeply furred tongue. So very important symptom in baptisia, stools. So stools will be very thin, watery, as you find in typhoid condition. There will be diarrhea like symptoms. So here also you will have thin, watery, fecal yellow, but mainly the color will be more of black, brown, dark, slate colored. This you need to remember in baptisia. So the typical typhoid stool we know it will be yellowish and cornmeal mush will be there. Cornmeal mush will be like stools will be present. So and of course you will have penetrating odor, as I told you in the previous slides. Penetrating odor like decomposed meat or cadaver with great prostration. Prostration is the weakness. So prostration is the weakness, exhaustion. You will find it in the baptisia. In baptisia typhoid, exhaustion comes rapidly like deathly sinking in 3 days. But in ordinary typhoid, exhaustion is seen after 10 to 15 days. This is the difference you need to identify in the typhoids to prescribe baptisia. So you have even bleeding condition also. So in bapticia, on arousing from stupor, there is dry blood on lips, corners of the mouth, and very offensive smell. The darker it is, likely would I be to think of bapticia, but never bright red, he says. Kent says that it's a clear indication for bapticia if there is dark discoloration. If there is bright red bleeding, then you will not think of bapticia. You may think of belladonna, which is having bright red hemorrhage. So mental confusion, as we know, delirium state, stuporous condition you will have in bapticia. So mental confusion they will have very peculiar. So that is, he is in constant argument with his parts. That means what? With his parts, with his legs, with his hands and all, he feels that there are two, more than three. So he is two-person, dual existence. He feels he is two people, and he begins talking about the other one in bed with him. So, and his he in other sentences he gives that his great toe is in controversy with his thumb, and one leg is talking to the other leg, one part is talking to the another part. This is the delirium you will find in the bapticia. And one more thing very what you say, the peculiar you will find it in bapticia delirium is, he feels he is scattered around over bed. His parts are being scattered, leg is one side, hands are one side, and the abdomen is one side. He starts collecting those parts. So collecting those parts, and he tries to gather them. So when you ask him what he is doing, he will say, why, I am trying to get those pieces together. So but he never succeeds in that, and he keeps on trying to collect it. So this is the delirium state you will find. And sometimes even opposite is also seen. So instead of stuporous condition, drowsy condition, or the semi-conscious condition, the bapticia can be even sleepless and restless. So mainly what will be the reason for that sleeplessness and restlessness? Because he cannot get his pieces together. That is the main reason in the bapticia. He lies upon one side curled up like a dog. He does not want to be disturbed. He sleeps in one corner like a dog, curled like a dog. His mind wanders as soon as his eyes are closed. The dullness of mind, especially at night, is observed. There is indisposition to think, and mind seems weak. So bapticia patient will die from the typhoid in 10 to 12 days if it is not being treated, if left alone, he says. Whereas ordinary typhoid will run for weeks and sometimes die at the close of 4 weeks in the crisis. So this is what the Kent says, the rapidity you find in the bapticia. The septic state will be so rapid that he may go into death phase. Then there is spasm of esophagus also seen in the bapticia. Esophagus feels as if constricted from above down to stomach. And because of this constriction feeling, spasm of the esophagus, he cannot swallow liquids, but only liquids. He can swallow only liquids, but every particle of solid food will gag, or he will be thrown back. That means he cannot swallow solid food at all. He can swallow only liquid food. If he tries to eat even a small particle of solid, he will try to throw it out. So in natrum mur also you have the spasm of esophagus, but it will be seen with the nervous symptoms. There is paralytic weakness observed. So it is seen with increased prostration, trembling in the tongue, hands and limbs. So there is prostration with trembling. So prostration, exhaustion with the trembling, if you find, you can think of bapticia. Quivering all over the body. Jaw will drop with unconsciousness. He feels as if he is sinking away. Excessive drowsiness and delirious stupor is seen. So, these are the symptoms of the bapticia. I hope it has helped you to understand bapticia through Kent. So, this will help you in prescription of the